Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch and welcome back to my studio. Today we're gonna paint peony in a flooding technique, which is kind of a mixture between wet on wet technique, but with a tiny bit more control. And I hope you enjoy the process. So let's start.
I begin with mapping the area of our peony petals with very light diluted watery substance. So I keep adding water to have the paper very wet and prepare it to the next step. Right now I am emulating their petals, shaping them with two sides of this brush. If I go with the flat side, I'm getting bigger petals, flat, and with the side of the brush I could add more crispy edges. It's very important to think about negative space on this stage and leave some area untouched. For example, the area where pollens will be, I will add it later on. Just right now painting with different brush strokes, watering the areas which might already dry a little bit, and try to avoid these watery petals. Something about this. Checking out if that is pleasantly wet. And now I add bolder color of permanent red, and I just add this darker color into the watered areas and let it flood. And as we painted only the petals area, we have a bit of a control, so the water would not go out of the areas, which makes painting more predictable. And still get this nice wet on wet feeling. Sometimes I paint with this bold mix on dry areas to get more crispiness. And sometimes I just allow the color flood into different directions, but within our mapped areas. To make it more interesting, now I'm adding Vandyke color, which you see it adds shades and depth into the petals structure. So I'm going just at the same areas, but with extra layers. The paper is still wet, color is still flooding. Adding some crispiness to the back petals. Sometimes I could wash my brush, dry my brush a little, and soften the edges. Also, it's could be a good idea just to go around the petals and add some crispiness in some areas. Crispiness, shades, just like this. Now I switch to the round brush with very good point to paint the middle. I take permanent orange for light areas, and with tipping moves I prepare these pollen areas. But if we leave it like this, you see almost no contrast is here. That's why I'm going into brown color, Vandyke brown, for example, or sepia. You could use sepia also. And now we add shades in between, especially in the point where it touches the front petal. It would be also nice to add some green. Green has a very nice contrast with red as the complementary color. That's why it's very, very fitting. Here I just a little bit soften the edges, especially in the area, in the bottom area, which is mostly in the shade. Try to paint with the tip of the brush when you get this nice texture of sunshine and pollens. Would be nice to add some greenery. With the same technique, with the flooding technique, I first prepare areas for the leaves. And after that I add Peryleen green, one of my favorite green colors, which has very dusty, smooth texture, great for shades, great for painting flowers. To make it more artistic, I'm adding some yellow spots, some red spots to the leaves, to the greenery. I look through the camera and I think it could be really nice to add something, to add a leaf just here. Just a small, nice leaf, which we are not making an accent here, but it's nice for the composition. Same here, I add in more and more contrast and details just with the tip of the brush, and allow watercolor play itself, work itself. Now I carefully wash my brush and add a few more details to them. To the bud. To see where could be, where more contrast could be added, more crispiness, more division between petals. Peonies have very certain lines, very noticeable lines in the petals. Sometimes you could add that filling with the tip of the brush. Maybe also distribute a little bit. Here is, I see it's a bit of a puddle here in this area. I just use it as an option to create some lines on the petal. So we are working in the same style, as long as we like to, but trying not to over paint. Here it is.
Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope you are going to try to paint in this flooding technique. I'm looking forward to see your peonies or other flowers on Instagram. Tag me olga.koelsch. Please write in comments which flower you would like to paint next. Subscribe my channel and see you next time. Bye bye.